everybody, what's up? I'm Sarah the Rebel.
And I'm Dolph Ziggler's French braid.
And this is Women Wrestling Friends, a podcast where women are friends and they talk about wrestling. Tamara.
Yes, hi.
Wrestling.
Is not actually a French braid, and neither is this woman, Zaida. Zaida, say hi to the people at home.
Hi.
To the people at home. This is Zaida. She's a professional wrestler. We actually, fun fact, had her on as a guest in the past. It was probably our best episode that we've ever had.
Oh, this is the greatest episode.
It was really good. And when she left, I went to check the file and get everything squared away, and it had not recorded a single thing. Nothing. It was gone. So we call that our lost episode, and so finally we've got Zaida here to recapture that lost magic. So hope you do a great fucking job.
Thank you.
No pressure.
I did shower today. I'm ready.
Excellent. We've already 9 out of 10. We're getting it. So today we're going to be talking about Fastlane because it just happened, and we're actually almost on time for once. High five to myself. I could have just high fived you. There we go. Wash your hands afterwards, just in case. So we're going to talk about Fastlane, but first we're going to talk to Zaida for a little bit because she's a very interesting person and I love her a lot. So, that's our new interview noise. How did you get into wrestling?
I got into wrestling randomly a couple years ago. I had graduated from college, did my things I wanted to check off my to-do list in life, and then just thought I could always get a job with my degree. I'm young. I just want to try random things, so I went to a how to write a book workshop. I went to a bunch of random things, and nope, not good at that. Nope, not good at that. Somebody told me that there was a Santino's in LA, and I think Midwest when I think wrestling, when you're not exposed to the indie scene. So just walked in, spoke to Sylvia and Joey, and just realized it was something that was accessible, and just kind of just showed up, not knowing what's going to happen, and it's kind of still that way. I'm still that little girl that fell in love with wrestling and thinks of it as this magic. So I just kind of show up, and just the day that I think I really suck that'll be the day I stop.
Okay, well I hope you never feel that day.
Thank you.
How long have you been wrestling?
2 years, but I don't really count it full 2 years because I was out on injury for took me out for about 8 months.
So that was injury that I witnessed.
Yes.
So imagine my dismay when I'm like, first of all, my friend got hurt. So first of all, already dismayed.
Yes.
But second of all,
There's a scar.
the woman,
I know. 10 screws in a plate. So I'm really cold in the winter, in case you're wondering why I'm like bundled up. Metal is really cold. They don't tell you that after surgery.
They never remember to tell you anything important, jerks. So we're at a Brian Kendrick show, and
WPW.
yes, Wrestle Pro Wrestling. And was it off of the move where you were pushed up into the air like this?
It was supposed to be a fall-away slam. And just, sometimes you could do everything right and things go wrong. Sometimes you can not do everything right and then something will go wrong. So yeah, I swore it was a muscle because I heard the tear or the break, and I was like, no, it's my muscle. And was lying out for a couple of minutes. I was like, oh shoot, they're gonna come for me. I've been out for a couple of minutes, not doing anything in this triple threat match. And
that was a match where people threw hot dogs at us.
Yes.
I've talked about it before because I dodged every single one of those hot dogs because no thank you.
And I after a couple minutes, Laura James came for me, and I just instinct kicked her, gave her a suplex, and felt my bone move. I was like, oh, it is not my muscle. Started to get really hot. The adrenaline could only do so much, and whispered in her ear, shattered my collarbone, you have to get me out. And she got me out, and at that point I couldn't even leave the ring on my own. I had to be carried out. I was so dizzy. My 5 feet 0 inches figure couldn't handle
yeah, no, but it's amazing.
all that pain.
Can I just tell y'all something? This 5-foot woman broke her collarbone and still gave somebody a suplex. So
It took a Michinoku driver.
You tell me again anything about women can't do this or can't do that, and I will be like, yep. Just for you. Yes. Tomorrow's gonna hit you with this is what you're doing. This is what I would prefer. So first of all, I was already upset because I'm like, oh shit, my friend is hurt. Like, she looks really hurt. And then also like, god dang it, we ain't never getting this episode recorded. So I'm so happy that you were healed and that you could be on the show again. Selfish friendship. So what's it like working with Brian Kendrick?
It's it's a good sort of intimidating. I think there's just always a sense of just respect. So he's very accessible. He's very cool. He has a mind of his own, and any conversation, if you've ever had with him, is very interesting. He's out there.
He's Wizard of Oz.
Yeah, he's just a cool guy, and he has a sense of humor. So at the same time, he's so accessible. But there's always just this respect, and I think it keeps a nice element for everyone to want to make him look good, but also represent what he loves so much about the industry, because he really does try to funnel that down to all of us. So for someone that's been around for so many years, and all the advice probably he has given, for him to still really care about everyone and still give advice in a genuine way like that, it's super, super, super an honor just to be a student of his. So.
Absolutely. It's so interesting because these are the same questions that I asked Zaida the first time. And when I asked her that the first time, it was as someone who had only maybe waved or shaken hands with Brian Kendrick in passing, and now I'm on his show as well as a valet. So it's just funny, in the wrestling world, like, it can be very open in some ways. Like, you could really do a lot if you are in a place where there are opportunities or you're able to make opportunities. So I would also agree that Brian Kendrick seems always ready to share his knowledge and advice, and it's really awesome of him. So do you have any favorite matches or awesome moments of yours so far as a wrestler? Because we talked about a big, scary, negative one. So what's a positive one that you've had?
You know, the good thing about wrestling is just you gotta just show up and always be prepared, and that happened for me. I was at the EWF anniversary show last year. I debuted in a singles match with them because my debut was in WPW, but it was in a Rumble, so kind of different. Just happened to be backstage. Someone always told me, always bring your gear with you, be ready. It paid off for me. Awesome Kong, Amazing Kong, WWE.
Yes.
I was having a match with Rays, and then things changed. They added a couple people, Maritza Jeanette, and then they added me in it. So, bang, at that point my debut was 4 months prior to that, because it was May 2017. And I got to tag with Awesome Kong at the EWF anniversary show, which is their biggest show of the year, of course, extravaganza. So it was random, and it was awesome. And being able to get advice from a female was different, and it was good.
What's really awesome to me is I saw that picture and I was just like, she got to be with Asuka. She's also known as Karma, I think, is what she was.
Yes, yeah.
And she was in Glow, I believe.
Yeah,
she looks so different that I'm saying I believe.
No,
Because
it
I'm
was
like,
her. Her hair was a nice 80s of like curl flip.
Yeah.
Yes.
Happening.
Yes.
She was great. And she was.
I really enjoyed her. Would like to see more of her. Welfare Queen. Just keep it going. So what has been, I feel like I probably know the answer to this, but I'll ask just in case, what has been your biggest challenge as being a wrestler? What has been the biggest challenge?
You know, when I walked into just Santino's and randomly thought I wanted to be a wrestler, I thought my size or my experience, things like that would be the most challenging thing. But I think to me it's just being able to harmonize what's happening in wrestling at the same time, why I fell into love with wrestling, and then all the changes that's happening with wrestling, with WWE on a global level. So I think that's the hardest part for me, is finding that balance, because the indie scene is so different from the WWE product. So when your goal is to travel the world or work for WWE, you want to prepare yourself to be able to deliver that product one day, but at the same time you want to stay current and you want to stay up to date with what's happening, and the indie scene is so different. And then you want to put in what you love about wrestling, but at the same time you want to contribute to the magic, why you fell in love with wrestling, and recreate that. So I'm kind of putting all it together, but still being entertaining and likable is the hardest part. And I think how mental wrestling is it was super surprising, because I was like, that's a calculus, I got this. And then I'm in wrestling, I'm like, this is so hard.
Yeah.
This is like the hardest thing I've ever had to do. It uses everything, your mind, your body, everything. So yeah, that's definitely, being able to balance all that is challenging.
Absolutely, and I'm glad you said it, because I say that a lot. The wrestling was the hardest thing I ever did in my life. But also that, like, it's frustrating as someone who considers herself intelligent to be like, wow, I am foiled by my ability to remember these moves or to remember the spots or to like mentally tell, all right, the crowd is feeling this way, so they're gonna like react to this or that. Like it's
Being a
so
worker,
much,
yeah.
it's so much work, and you're like, I'm smart, why can't I figure it? Because it's hard, it is difficult.
I got reduced to kind of that kind of moment because I was like, I'm a big nerd, so I graduated like magna cum laude with college. I took a lot of pride with that, and I had a moment where I was just trying, and wasn't getting something, and Brandon is Brian Kendrick's assistant trainer coach, so he's always the right hand in class. But I was just getting so frustrated. I was like, how 4.0, how? Like, and I know I can't do this. I'm telling you, this leg, you do this, and you do this at that time, and this should happen. And I was just like, it's okay. You're wrestling hard. I was like, oh my God.
I'm very intelligent, and here I am yelling at my knees. Yes, it is.
It's hard.
It is.
It's hard, yeah.
Do you have a favorite move that you like to perform or to have performed on you? Either way.
You know, I haven't done it in a match, but one of my classmates, Fidel Bravo, EWF champion and mainstay, but he does this.
Ponytail.
His hair is nicer than me sometimes. It gives me that. He does this pendulum move where they get you off one is the pendulum, and I just.
You're like, ah,
wee, and then ouch after. But that's how could that not be a fun? And I'm sure I have in the moment in matches I have different moves, but that is a good one. And then to give a suplex makes me feel big, you know. If I'm 5 feet 0 inches, so I'll take all the little ego I can get. So a suplex makes me feel really good.
It's true. It does feel like a very powerful move, definitely.
Mm-hmm. And the leg drop, I don't know why. I think I'm Hulk Hogan sometimes. And like to me, I think I jump higher than I jump, or like my leg is really gonna do something. But I just like feel so good when I do a leg drop.
I actually just learned a leg drop. I'm not feeling that way about it yet. I'm feeling like
hurts
I
your
might
toes, right?
hurt. It hurts my butt, and also I maybe don't have very good aim and should never do this to a living person.
Ow! Right over there.
Oh, sorry. That was not my ankle. Was not supposed to end up in your forehead. My bad.
How did you end up rolled around in me on my stomach? I don't know.
Why are we in a cobra clutch? I don't even know. Anyway, do you have a favorite wrestler wrestling right now besides yourself?
Like for WWE or for like the.
Let's do both if you have both, or whichever you have.
I think for WWE, he's not currently. It's Chris Jericho.
Mm-hmm.
I have my favorites for different reasons. Like I really like Regal and Benoit, for different reasons. But I think the part of me that wanted to really be in it and have it be fun was Chris Jericho, because he has this ability to just gather people behind him, whether he's a heel or babyface, and just at any moment can just switch back and forth, and it just seems so natural. His character, I feel like he really inherits it in like different level. Mm-hmm. And so that's, and I feel like with what he's doing, I mean, he's already testament to that. He could go for years and years and years because he doesn't burn out his character in certain ways, and he leaves it so there's space to go somewhere and develop his character too. So I really, he sticks out for that. And then obviously the reason I chose to train with Brian Kendrick is Brian Kendrick. When you're a little girl watching the tag, mm-hmm. Obviously he wrestles a lot different now, and he's a bad guy. He's a heel, the man with a plan.
The man with a plan.
But even then, his technique, and then he just tells a story, and he vibes off the crowd. And I think he has a lot now that he's learned about longevity, so he wrestles in that way. So as someone that happened to get injured really early on, I'm a lot more in tune to like The Miz and Brian Kendrick, and how they've been able to stay injury free. Or, well, recently, Kendrick had the surgery, but besides that, for the last 20 years, him and like The Miz just safe, able to do it day in, day out, longevity. So that's kind of what I'm thinking of.
Interesting. Yeah, Chris Jericho. I hated him when he came out with that tiny ponytail, but he, like you said.
That was a goal, man.
Yeah, that's what he wanted. He wanted me to hate that tiny ponytail.
It's sexy, it.
But
So smart.
But he effortlessly guides the crowd to feel how he wants them to feel. So yeah, I definitely feel you on that one. Do you have any advice for women interested in becoming a wrestler?
Yeah, I think that a lot of times women, there's only certain roles that are kind of like predisposed for you. In wrestling, we only have maybe one or two examples to pull from. And as much as WWE is a women's revolution right now, it hasn't quite trickled down on all levels to the extent that you think that it would be. So I think that being yourself and having that be good enough is something that is so understated but missed a lot. I think a lot of times as women, we still are empowered in that we can do a lot of the same things guys can do as far as opportunities, but the conversation of agency and the freedom of choice are never part of that. So we exercise our power, but it's like, really, why did you make that choice? Like, if I want to be naked in the street, I have the right to be naked, but it's like, why do you want to be naked in the street? You know what I mean? Is it because you feel like that's the only one or two options that you have? And I think that that's never part of the conversation. So for me, and like my character, my gimmick, there's nothing inherently wrong with wanting to be, I feel like it's Halloween. It's like always, it's sexy in front of whatever is the gimmick for girls sometimes.
Right, it's like sexy Ninja Turtle, I got you.
Yeah, and even the people that aren't, they're still coming out like, I mean, I'm still in a crop top. Like, come on now, we still, we're still a product of our society, so you're gonna reflect that. But I think being able to be different and not walking into a role because you feel you have to be objectified or seen a certain way or think that this is the formula. You can create kind of your own formula, and being you is good enough, and that goes a long way. And wherever that takes me, big or small, is what I'm gonna stick to for sure. So
awesome. I think Chris Wolf is a good example of that right now. She's a wrestler out of Japan, and she wears like long pants and a tank top. And she kind of dresses like B-boy, actually, now that I think about it. Like a very tiny B-boy. And she has a championship belt, so at least the one that I know of. So, you know, like Zaida said, if you are a woman interested in becoming a wrestler, don't be like me, who didn't try it because you thought, well, I don't have Chyna's body and I don't have Sable's body, so I can't be a wrestler. If you want to do it, you should go do it. And do it your way.
exactly.
I did it my way. Hey, Tamara, you still over there?
Yep.
Cool.
Hanging in there.
Most of that wasn't.
Listen, sometimes I just like to listen to you guys talk because it's interesting.
Aw, well, me, I'm interesting with my best friend. Okay, don't cry. Sorry, guys. I'm just very emotional. So we watched Fastlane, and that's clearly why I'm so emotional. I'm just kidding. It felt nothing.
No. Just a long, drawn-out sigh for most of that.
I always forget to watch the pre-show, but then I went back and tried to watch it and realized I'm happy I didn't watch the pre-show because it was mostly talking.
Yeah, it was only one match. I mean, I did appreciate Booker T talking because I always appreciate Booker T talking. But it was really the 3-on-3 Breezango and Ty Dillinger versus Mojo Rawley and
Shelton and Chad.
Yeah, I was gonna call Biggie called Shelton old Jason Jordan one time, and it's messed up, and it's one of the funniest things. I was gonna call him old Jason Jordan, and I had to stop myself. It was not a bad match. I always like Breezango. They don't really let them be good that much anymore. You know what I mean? Like they're kind of there.
Yeah, they got squashed by.
Yeah. So you know,
brothers.
it was nice for them to be like kind of wrestling and like being good at it for a minute and a half. It's interesting that they're putting Ty with them. And maybe it's because he has that giant collar.
Do the hand thing.
Oh, yes.
Do it. There you go.
It's a 10.
I love his weird giant collar. It's like this like Flash Gordon, maybe merciless type business. I actually almost want to put him with Natalia because they both have the little hard-lace jackets.
Yeah, hers is like getting wilder every time.
right?
I love
she
it.
is like this like a weird space cat dominatrix, and I'm here for all
Sailor
of it.
Moon kitty monster.
Yes, 100%.
She's pretty dominatrix
Yeah.
for how vanilla she comes off, right? Like,
but I'm here for everything.
yeah, she
comes out.
those
with
are the
this tight
dangerous
little
ones,
ears.
they say,
Yeah.
right? Behind closed
You're
doors.
so nice and quiet, but you cannot. No.
She's a cat lady, so you know there's crazy inside of her.
She's a freak.
She's inside.
Just- It was a decent match. It was fine. I'm not feeling Mojo Rawley. They did hit him with the
OJ.
Mojo.
Moj.
I was gonna let it ride.
Moj. Sorry,
but
this
Tyler,
podcast is coming from LA, so we say Moj.
we say Moj in LA.
Moj.
Tyler is sitting off camera and his head snapped around at Moj Raleigh, so I had to say something.
Yeah,
He's like
fine.
losing your credibility with the wrestling
But this
audience.
is how little I think of him. Is
Right,
that
like I
don't
don't even feel like the second half of your name matters, homie.
I just don't care. And like I don't know. Him as a heel works, I guess. I just don't.
love it as a heel.
Yeah. I just don't think they have a place for him right now, and it's just kind of. I would rather see him healing it up than Baron Corbin.
Yes. Replace Baron Corbin with
I'm
Mojo
saying-
Rawley, and you
I
will
mean,
have
but
my
Baron
attention.
Corbin as a face.
No, just
No,
make
just
him.
make
Oh,
him-
oh, yeah, it was like.
just move.
I mean,
Baron
you can't
Corbin.
have no face with a receding hairline.
Send him
Yeah.
back.
Just have someone like sneak up behind him and just like, and then like drag him off, and then like a month later he comes back with a shaved head and a whole new gimmick. I'd be about it.
Just send him back to his wizard's tower. Okay, so we started off a little hot with
Oh, yes, I
Shinsuke
know.
and Rusev.
Oh yeah, that was. I saw a man die because Rusev hit him with this kick, and he flipped, and I swear to God, his head went 3 ways it shouldn't have been. And I was like, oh.
He just landed, and I'm like, how did that even happen, Shinsuke? I know Shinsuke's fine because he's
Yes.
made out of dreams and magic,
Yes,
but
he
like,
is.
also I kept getting distracted throughout the match by his ability to turn his arms into like melty plastic
Okay.
or whatever. So when he flops, he doesn't just flop. His arms are like, bloop,
Yep.
bloop.
I'm tempted to watch him after like a glass of wine.
I know, just like-
what I think about him.
Is that how I feel about
I
this?
know. That's the only part that I don't like about because I'm such a wrestling fan, and I try not to wrestle for myself. I try to wrestle for wrestling, but you can't help but wrestlers analyze each other,
Yes.
and I'm nowhere. Who am I to Nakamura? But I hate that my little brain say, wait, that.
Yeah.
I just hate that they were mat wrestling, and I'm supposed to believe that Nakamura, who's like this compared to Rusev,
Right.
is supposed I easily countered this. And I hate that because I just want to watch the match sometimes.
Yeah.
But is it me or Nakamura? His kicks don't seem as vicious or
I wonder if he
as
hurts
they
the
seem
button.
to be.
They don't look like they hurt. Yeah, so I think it's because.
Or maybe he's learning to be safer now with WWE.
I think it's because of our eyes. So Tamara, what do you think about
What?
his kicks?
Um,
Do they
I-
look strong to you?
They look strong often. I think that depending on who he's wrestling against, some of them he gets into there harder. And I also think they were a lot harder when he first got there than maybe they are now.
They were like,
But I
yo.
think
Yo.
yeah, somebody
Take
really
that strong style out of here.
Yeah, I think he's trying to like balance because I know like in Japan like they're hitting motherfuckers. Like this is not like this is not a game. Like like they are much more in contact from what I've seen, like actual legit contact than WWE on average. So I think that also is part of it. He's probably trying to balance like actually getting in some.
Just like how his eyebrow and shoulder balanced him when he landed on both of them at the same time.
Oof.
Still magic.
Just-
Shinsuke ended up winning, but
Yes.
so I was actually more like, it's weird that they're doing mat wrestling and catch wrestling to start off a show.
Mhm.
Our two big, strong Shinsuke and Rusev are
Pay-per-view
like,
show.
on a pay-per-view show are like real wrestling. I was just like, I'm a little surprised by that. But
Wrestling is real.
I do think you're
By the
right.
way.
Yeah, don't forget, kids.
By the way.
Yeah.
If you
It
don't
hurts.
believe me, I'll put you
It
in
hurts.
something and you can see how it feels. I do think though that you're right that when you know a little bit about wrestling, it becomes harder to just sit back and enjoy wrestling. And I think that's what a lot of like the critics in the wrestling scene complain about from the critics who have never been wrestlers or anything is like they're like, oh, you can't just enjoy a show anymore. And it's like, well, the internet exists now. We can watch YouTube videos now. We can see how things are supposed to look. And I do think it takes away a little of your ability to just relax and, just watch these two beefy guys kick each other.
I mean, and also just generally, as nerds in every category, we're having a real tough time with our fandoms and our suspension of disbelief and suspension of belief. Like, I feel like we're a little bit over-analytical and sometimes, and we can't just shut our brain off and enjoy anything.
Yeah, we over-process for sure. And I think, too, you're right, because, I mean, wrestling is a performance. Like, it's still, there's a lot that goes into it. Still, it's not what a lot of people think it is. But I think that it's, how do I say it? like in a real street fight, not everything looks crisp, not everything looks clean.
Right.
But I think it's just like that magic. If I'm watching Titanic and I see the guy, you know, pouring water into the thing, into the ocean or something. I don't know this example.
I was just looking. I wish you could see my face because I was like, "Oh, the Titanic. Where are we going?"
And then I'm like, wait. Oh my god! I want to make myself look so bad. What ocean was it in? Was it the Pacific? Okay, so the ocean. It was in the real water. So then I snap out of the movie. I'm like, damn it! I was in this love story and I thought they were gonna die, and now I just saw a man making it look like it's making sure that the water levels are good. So it looks like it's snapping. So it's not necessarily we're always wanting to come from where we want to critique like we can do it better. Like this is not how the perfect suplex looks like or whatever. But I think it's just like the making it a good show and that magic. I think right with something we can agree that it's
Definitely.
it's hard to not want to give your 2 cents sometimes.
But I do think they were both like from a performance at least like aspect. They were both really in it and selling it.
Yeah, I think it revved up. And once it revved up.
Yeah, towards the middle. Oh, for sure. Yeah.
And that was their intention. It was just weird to see as a first match. That's just generally I'm used to like, let's get the crowd on fire.
And I liked Aiden English's reactions when they would catch them.
You know what?
I loved his freaking tights. His tights
yes, good.
were so good. I want a pair because they're all like sparkly and stuff. I like them.
I said this exact same thing. I'm getting the nod from my boyfriend who's off camera because he witnessed it. I was like, I want those pants. And I also loved his top, but I didn't like the top and the pants together. It was too much different pattern to me.
Dropping the ball.
So think about that, Aiden English. I get you're trying to be Shakespeare, but Shakespeare knew don't pair the black on black curly fabric with the black on glitter curly fabric with the curls are different. That's all, sir. Anyway, so Rude versus Orton.
We'll write this down. Don't need wrestling gear.
Well, or at least if you do it, just don't ask me how I feel about it. I won't tell you unasked for.
Yeah, Rude Orton.
Okay, so a thing I didn't want to see.
Yeah, 100%. I'm sorry.
I love this storyline too. Well, you know what the only championship I haven't had is? That's why I want it.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Okay, sure.
I thought it was the best match on pay-per-view.
I'm not saying the match was bad.
I really thought, that clothesline that Rude gave, it just looked like it was going to take off Randy Orton's head. If Randy Orton, he ducked it, luckily for him. It just looked like wrestling match.
Yeah, no, I mean, they were like intense dudes. This is not about the work, it's about my innate disinterest in Randy Orton.
Correct. That's what it is for me too.
And I've never liked Randy.
He ain't pretty. Put a bag on his head. He's pretty. He ain't pretty in the face. He was butterface over there. I'm not. Wait, you still think he's pretty even with the hair plugs in?
Ooh. He has hair plugs.
Did you not notice that he suddenly has hair?
We got some truths flying out. Too many real strong
I kept trying to
feels.
ignore it and couldn't because I'm like, why do you have young man hair on an old man body? Because like, I don't know how I can tell the difference.
Because science.
Like, I'm looking at his hair. I spent too much time staring at his hair because I'm like, how come I know that's not his hair? Like, brain, explain to me why this looks different than when an older man has that haircut. How come I can tell? And my brain had no answers for me. Anyway, Orton won the title.
Yeah, which, I think I said that I didn't expect anything to, like, change hands, but that was the one that I thought would have, like, if any of them was going to happen, it was going to be that one.
Because there was no real kind of storyline.
No, there really wasn't. It was really random. They didn't really have a lead up, and then I guess they're gonna rematch at Mania unless that's the title Cena goes for.
I think it might be a 3-way because Jinder came in at the end.
Oh, that's right.
Attacked Orton, and then Rude was like, "Don't you beat up my enemy?
Yes.
He's mine to beat up.
I'm Vegeta, and you are Frieza, and I'm going to punch you.
Only I will kill this man."
Yeah, and only Orton will kill the Singh brothers. Please stop almost killing the Singh brothers. Please. Aww. I beg of you.
They're too small.
Yeah, I know I'm small, but when I see them, just woo!
Like, if you're going to throw through a table, could you do it right? Please.
I just laughed thinking of the gif again of his face after
he's
he
like,
did
oh, damn, I killed that dude. Like, that's literally the face he made.
Oh man, I hope he doesn't tell Mom.
Yeah, because some other moves, I feel like they just don't take it, because that's when people are like, wrestling is a show, but it's not fake. You have to build a callus, and you have to learn how to keep yourself safe and protect
And
yourself.
not die.
Right. So it's so when I see the Singh brothers, I feel like I don't know,
I don't
right?
think
It
it's-
just some of the moves. There was like one a few months ago that was it when Ginger turned on them or he got mad at them. He had them on timeout or something. I don't know. And he like took a move and he just I was like, oh, every move I said, oh, broken. Call him up.
I just wonder if they don't like you said, maybe they don't protect themselves, or maybe they're not given a chance to work with those bigger superstars, so those superstars don't know how heavy or light they're gonna be. Like, I don't know.
I feel like that's more what it is initially because they came from 205,
Right.
so they're way lighter than most of the dudes that they're gonna check at any given point in time. And I think especially early on, because that's when Orton was constantly almost killing them, was just not figuring out like, hey, if you're gonna do this, you can't like do
Pretend
that.
you're holding one of your children.
Yeah,
and
he's
then
gonna
do
fly
it.
about 5 feet farther than you think he's gonna fly.
Because there's no way to fake fall. Like you feel it. It's just it's you gotta learn how to take a bump.
Yeah, and the Singh brothers are just YOLO in their way through life, I guess. So possible 3-way, at least for like a rematch. Maybe not for WrestleMania.
Oh, what? Sorry.
The most interesting thing about Rude to me right now is that Charlotte is kayfabe in love with him.
Yes.
And I'm into it. I'm really into the Robe Warriors.
She's like, that's my man. I'm like,
Hashtag Robe Warriors for life.
That's cute.
The Usos and New Day had a match, so we've seen them have a lot of matches, so it's very easy to be like, oh, I'm so tired of seeing this, but it's kind of undeniable that they put on good matches with each other.
Good chemistry.
They have really great chemistry, right? They were doing each other's moves this whole time, which was kind of cute. I probably shouldn't find that cute, right? I should be like, oh, this is awesome, but I'm like, oh, this is adorable.
Oh,
it's like a love letter to each other. But I really enjoyed, by the way, Big E's promo before, where he kind of popped the fuck off.
Yeah.
And it was like, Big E really has everything to be a singles competitor. And I'm really hoping they finally pull the trigger on that at some point. Because he can do promos, he's a big guy, you know, he's charismatic, weird as hell.
He's got nipples.
Got nipples for days. So anyway, this match ended, surprise, in a no contest because the Bludgeon Brothers came out and bludgeoned them.
Yeah. By the way, this is one of 3 times where I thought somebody was going to kiss. It was the Bludgeon Brothers with each other. Because there was a part where one of them slapped the other, and I was like, are you going to kiss now?
Wait, was the other one Rude in Orton's match? Because he also said kiss if it was that
it
one.
wasn't that one, but that was one.
Oh.
It was well, we'll get to it the other 2 times. But yeah, there's about 3 times.
So the Bludgeon Brothers, you thought they were going to kiss.
Thought they were going to kiss, and it was when Luke slapped the other guy, and I really thought, I was like, because they're standing over somebody that they're standing over the Usos, and then he slaps him. I was like, is this some like Gomez Morticia stuff happening right now? And are you gonna kiss? Because that would be amazing. Of course, they're not going to, but that would be a great like, haha, surprise.
Surprise.
You know, part of the.
We've been telling you we'll have a gay storyline. We finally did it.
the most unexpected gays.
It would be wonderful if they did.
So yeah, they basically just destroyed it. Oh, second time I thought I just watched this man die. Xavier.
Yeah, he got slammed down into the steel stairs. He has a spinal contusion, which I think means Bruce.
Yes.
That
That is a fancy way to say Bruce.
That's a $5 way to say Bruce.
Mm-hmm.
The Usos got thrown all outside. People were just left and right, just dying. Just murderation, hateration in this dancery.
It was 100% hateration in this dancery.
Yeah, it was pretty intense to watch. And then the cameras kept going back to it for a very long time, so it was just awkward because you're busy feeling sorry for these people for an extended amount of time. And then it cuts to Renee, and she's like, hey, AJ Styles. And then it cuts back to them being wheeled out.
And the announcer's like, by the way, we just witnessed the attempted murder of 6 wrestlers. Give us a second here, and we'll show you. We'll run it down.
No transition. I hate those pre-match interviews, by the way. Now that they're doing like on Raw and SmackDown, like right before you have a match. Let me focus and kill my opponent first.
Let me just tell you how I feel.
Right. I don't know why that's bugging me so much.
It's the little things. But yeah, it was a good, intense match, and it ended all crazy, and so I guess it's going to be some sort of 3-way something. It's nice to have somebody scary in the tag team division. I thought they were doing a good job originally with the Wyatt family, and then they were almost going to do a good job with Gallows and Anderson, but they kept messing it up. So maybe they'll finally get it right with the Bludgeon Brothers. Here's hoping. Then we had a women's match that was not all of the women in the same match. Wow, you did it! Becky and Naomi versus Carmella and Natalya. Now, I have to reiterate for about the 18th time, I hate Carmella, but goddamn if I don't want her clothes.
Damn it.
It was so cute.
Super cute.
Her nipple fell out.
Oh.
It did?
Yeah.
Why did I
I
miss
see
that?
Yeah, I know, right? That's what I said too.
Oh, is that why it kind of got a little wonky in the middle?
Maybe.
My perv rate on you.
How did I not see that? Apparently Asuka's nipple had come out earlier too. I learned that searching
Right on.
for Carmella's nipple. So anyway, I found it. I found them both, and I've seen 2 nipples today, so I think today was a good day despite everything that went wrong.
Not like matching, just like.
No, just
separate.
separately. I didn't see 2 nipples on the same
No,
body.
not a pair. Just
Just and
I know Carmella's not like it.
She's got
She's not an indie, but
Mhm.
I like her. I like hearing her talk. She's one of a few people that I can tolerate on the mic.
Interesting.
And has at least, a gimmick.
She does.
That's definitely
She does. I like that she's like yells and I can hear her.
constantly.
Yes, I actually do like you said, it's definitely her character. I just, she just drives me crazy. In a good way though, like in the way a heel should drive me crazy.
Exactly.
That's the way I dislike her. And then Natalya, like we said, she came out with it just every time, every pay-per-view, I feel like an extra poof gets added to her poofs. She looked wonderful in my opinion.
I'm all about her bodysuits.
You know what's
All I hear
interesting?
over here is in the poof and the poof and the poof.
Did you notice that every woman in this match was covering her midriff?
Yes.
I thought that was kind of interesting. I hate Becky's new gear.
Oh, the fire one?
Becky, why? Listen, if it had maybe been like a normal top to it, but the fact that it had like a collar, it was bothering me.
My problem
And then
was
the print.
It was the graphic. I didn't mind the thing. I just think maybe bigger the flames.
It literally looked like if I was trying to make an outfit.
I've seen that print.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I've seen that print on the Callejones, okay? Which means the alleys in downtown LA.
Right.
I've seen that print.
That's what I'm saying. It was like she got a pattern book and went down to downtown and bought a print and made it herself. And listen, girl, that's fine. More power to you. But you do that every time, and they're almost always ugly. But this,
She just needs to come out on fire. Just come out.
just on fire. Don't
Just
even
on
wear clothes.
fire, and that's how you beat the person. You just
She
burn
had
them
just
down.
burn them down. She had cute gear like once in the years that I've been watching her. And you know what? It's fine. She's a great wrestler. She doesn't need to appeal to me.
Nope.
And it was a good match to me, in my opinion. I enjoyed. I felt like everyone got their chances to shine and look strong. There was a distraction with a briefcase by Natalya, and then Carmella was able to hit a really strong-looking kick and take the win.
I was slightly surprised that they won.
Me
but
too.
then
Me too. Yeah.
I think I feel like she's gonna try and cash in at Mania when Asuka wins.
Oh,
And going to get destroyed. That's like the thing that I'm feeling.
I feel like, or she might try to cash in when the new person wins for Money in the Bank. And I'm kind of feeling that. My spidey senses.
Yeah, I really don't know what the plan is with that. They keep reminding us that the
She has
briefcase
it.
exists.
She
Yeah.
not do anything. I would just take such delight if she did not succeed. I don't know why.
Like how Baron Corbin.
Like
did.
how I'm never gonna not like that. It's my favorite. He tried.
Like
and
on
he
your
tried.
deathbed. What are your last?
I know.
What are your last
Oh,
words?
Baron
Baron Corbin. He cashed it in and lost.
I like the white
Tomato!
Money in the Bank briefcase
I know.
though. I like that it's white.
It's very pretty.
nice.
Mhm.
Pretty.
He tried. He said he don't succeed.
Oh yes, good.
Good times.
So then we had like a shit ton of people in the ring. Kevin wait, was it Charlotte before that?
Yes.
My bad.
Yeah.
So Charlotte versus Ruby Riott. Ruby came out without her squad. So I was like, oh, she's taking it seriously. I really enjoyed the juxtaposition of their looks as well. You know, Charlotte came out with the white and the blue and the blonde hair, and Ruby's like dark makeup. I thought that was cool. And I enjoyed the match.
Yeah, it was a good match. I do sometimes wonder why the Riot Squad isn't her, Sammy, and Becky, since they all have ska music. But, you know, that's just a whole other
Okay, so that was something that threw me off.
Yeah.
So the Riot Squad thing plays, and it's like Lisa Frank all over the screen. And it's kind of punkish kind of music. Okay, anti-establishment. So why is like Liv Morgan and Sarah Logan part of your anti-establishment? Like it didn't match to me. The idea, the presentation, and then who it is.
I get Sarah Logan. It's Liv that's the one that doesn't make
She's
sense.
the biggest.
Because the promos that she's cutting is like, oh, you're so perfect with your blondes, da 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 da. And I'm like, did you?
Like, have you met Liv Morgan? She's literally an Instagram model.
Have you literally looked to your right? Because
she's like you. So she probably didn't agree with you about
No,
that being.
she-
She is bleach blonde.
mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was weird to me. So anyway, the Riot Squad ended up coming out later, and then yay, I love when this happened.
Me too.
Then Charlotte's crew came out. Naomi and Becky were like,
Mm-hmm.
and let's keep it clean.
Yep.
And then the Riot Squad ended up tricking them
Really
into
good.
getting in.
This
Yeah,
was a good
Yeah, it's good.
faction. Yeah.
it was great. Got them thrown out. Now this is where I had more of a problem. They were the Riot Squad was messing with Charlotte in the corner while the referee's back was turned.
Mm-hmm.
When the referee turned around, to me, it looked like they were nowhere near her.
Yes.
Okay, it wasn't just me.
No, it was bad timing.
Yes, I think the ref was supposed to turn earlier.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or they should supposed to be there for longer.
Because the referee turns around and they're not there, but the referee still threw them out.
Yeah.
And so that felt really weird.
But it was still fine.
Yeah, it ended up being fine. And Charlotte ended up winning.
Mm-hmm.
She put her into her figure 8, and Ruby tapped immediately. She
Yeah.
didn't even
She's
last
like, nope,
a
Figure
second.
8 hurts. That's why.
Yes,
No,
fun
sir.
fact. Figure 4s, figure 8s, no.
The ouch factor is like.
There's a reason very few people do it.
Mhm.
So I kind of feel overall that the story they were telling with the Riot Squad, I hope this is weird to say, I hope it's done now,
Mm-hmm.
because it was sloppily done from the get-go. It was just a copy of what Paige was doing. These 3 wrestlers didn't really fit together, and they also were never, I don't feel that they were ever given their chance to be strong or dominant. Like, if you're
Yeah.
going to bring in a stable, that stable should be kicking everybody's ass.
Yeah.
Or that stable should be the underdog that we're going to root for, who's getting their ass kicked, but are scrapping. But it was neither of those. It was assholes who were getting their asses kicked.
Yeah. I think part of the problem is that the roster is not big enough for it. You know what I mean? Like, everybody has a certain level that they have to maintain. And then when you bring in the new people, like, yeah, they're going to get some wins at the top, but they're
You're
not
saying
enough.
there's not enough mid-card and bottom card.
Yes, for them to really build that up, because, like, who are they? They're not going to roll over Naomi every week.
Right.
You know, they're not going to
She's
do
a
that with
champion.
Natalya. She's a champion.
Right.
So they just don't have enough. They don't have enough of the roster to be able to really, like, because the Bludgeon Brothers, I mean, think about that. Like, they didn't wrestle like anybody basically this entire time. You know, like they
Right.
They had to wrestle like people from
Yeah.
like the way they built Braun.
yeah, exactly. So they were just squashing dudes for
Right.
like 5 months
Mhm.
before they even touched anybody on the roster. So, but they just don't have that.
Right. We need more burner girls.
Or just more. Hey, this would be a great time for you to spin off to that all women show. So you just have everybody in there.
Just
You can
do
have your
it.
proper stables.
Especially so I can stop watching Raw and SmackDown. I just want to watch women wrestle. Asuka came out at the end looking hella sexy as
Mhm.
usual. And then, without saying any words, because she can't speak English, I don't know,
Yeah.
she just smiles really big at Charlotte, points to WrestleMania, and wiggles at her.
Mm-hmm.
Just does a little wiggle, and then Charlotte grins back, and it's like, oh, I have figured out by context clues
Yes.
that Asuka has chosen Charlotte to challenge at WrestleMania.
This was the other time that I thought someone was gonna kiss, because
Oh,
when they
okay.
first get up to each other, they're just like breathing all hard, and they're like Asuka's kind of doing it, and Charlotte does a little, but then Asuka's still doing it, so Charlotte does it some more, and I was like, are you guys gonna kiss? Again,
And they're
second
just
time.
like, I always think about that, and I, when I'm nervous, I laugh, I'm scared, I laugh, I'm happy, I laugh. I just, you know, I don't want wrinkles. I try to be happy, you know, I don't want, you know, those frown wrinkles. But I always think of Triple H and his stare-offs and how he's always just
so
so
close.
close. And I mean, you could like do something really mean to me, and I'm legit mad at you. But I might laugh. Like if someone is here, like
Just right in front. You were like, if I was Charlotte, I would have already laughed at Asuka. Like, what are you doing?
What are you working on as a wrestler? Not laughing on face-offs.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
That
That's
is
the key to success. They take you
There's
seriously.
yes. There's somebody in training who doesn't notice, but he smiles almost the entire time he's wrestling. And I'm like, do you know that you're smiling?
Does he
You
really?
just got punched.
Is it like with teeth or like
Yeah, with teeth. Just
Oh.
like,
Oh.
This is his facial expression. I'm like,
Wow. Oh my God.
Do
Would
you know
that
that
makes
you're
you mad?
doing that?
Wipe that smile off his face.
I'm not wrestling him, or I would. Anyway, finally, to wrap it up, because we are going a little long, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, Dolph Ziggler, John Cena, after members everybody first day, Baron Corbin, and AJ Styles.
Mass Carnage. It was good. It was a good match. And then Shane was out there to interfere some, but only he got super kicked on accident. Kevin Owens first.
Of course.
Because like it's by accident. Because like the whole point of him being there was to get super kicked, basically. Like
Yeah, I'm like, why wasn't he sitting down safely behind a table?
Yeah.
You know why.
Right.
Go sit next to the Spanish announcers. They know what's up.
They couldn't even get the commissioner the nice chair. They got him like the regular
Yeah, it was like a
chair.
regular
The
old
ring
chair.
announcer gets that nice cushy chair with
Yeah,
the back.
behind the
He just
block.
got the regular party rental chair.
Yeah.
What the heck?
This is all we could afford.
So yeah, there was some like shenanigans, and then like Kevin looked like he was gonna win, and then Sami looked like he was gonna win, and then they
He
pulled
broke the pin from each of them.
Yeah, so he messed it up for both of them, which probably means there's going to be a three-way with Shane and the two of them at WrestleMania, because I don't see why else he would do that right now. What else happened?
So I can't contribute very well to this because I wasn't feeling super well last night, and I fell asleep during this match. I fell asleep maybe a few minutes before the ending. I do know that AJ won.
Yes.
AJ pinned
Out
Kevin
of
Owens.
nowhere, just.
Yeah, he got that forearm out of nowhere.
I don't know, and no one said from out of nowhere, even though motherfucking Orton be throwing them shits from clearly to the left or the right, but y'all stay out of it. Okay,
it's out of
fine.
nowhere. I'm like, no,
No, we
for
all
real. I
saw it.
He's right there.
He's right there.
He's right there.
You see him. He's not John Cena. He's visible.
He's right there.
Anyway.
Yeah, AJ got through a table. He got attitude adjusted through a table, and he was out for a long time. So there was a bunch of carnage. Baron Corbin picked up the stairs, was hitting motherfuckers with it. Except this is the most gentle hitting of people with some. And you know what? Good on you, Baron Corbin, for not trying to actually bust some people up with those. Because I've seen some people throw that shit with
Just wild.
just wilding out with this heavy ass metal thing. Like, what are you doing? Like, just calm down.
Yes.
So he just was like, boop, 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 boop.
Gentle boops. Well, that's how I feel about Braun. Braun, for a big guy, is incredibly safe looking. So yeah, it was. Do you feel that the match lived up to the hype?
I thought it was way better than I was expecting it to be. Because like having that many dudes in the ring is always hard. Like it's like Rumble. Like there's just big parts of it where you're just like, what are you doing? But this was actually really well like trafficked.
Yeah, I didn't know what I actually expected from it, to be honest. I mean, they had a good. I like that John Cena kind of just showed how much he wanted this. That's the storyline. He's trying to get a road to WrestleMania. Just kind of beat everybody up. Karma got him. They all got on him after. So I kind of like that. Yeah, I think for the most part, yeah, it was good.
Yeah.
It was good. But honestly, I don't know what I expected. Not that it was great talent. I'm like, I had no expectations. Right? I don't know what I expected because it was just kind of.
I definitely thought it would be messier, like Tamara said with the Rumble, but I think the parts of it that I saw, they did a very good job of keeping it believable, why things were happening, what they were happening, and keeping it moving.
And what about the Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens thing? You got to talk about
That
that.
was the best
He said, he kept his word. And do you think that Sami would have let him do it if Kevin did not trust him and try to grab him? Do you think he would have let him win?
Well, what I think is well, there's a coin toss because there's two ways that these stories can go. But what I think is going on is that Sami is setting Kevin up for the betrayal that he gave two different people, and it hasn't like super like it's happening in small ways because it's like at least this way you can explain it away and be like, no, we're still friends. See, I laid down and then you're gonna pick me up, but then I my instincts.
Oh, he
took
could have
over.
said, yeah, I betrayed you on the show because there was no title and I wanted the other opponents to think we weren't working together.
Yeah, exactly. There's ways that you
something.
can maneuver out of it, but I do think I think it would be a nice turn if Sami was the one who betrayed.
Take this karma!
Yes, betrayal.
He has a big chair and there's like a sign that says karma.
Things like that.
Or he picks up karma,
Oh, yeah,
Hong Kong. Just
I guess somebody wanted to
Throws
talk
her.
to you, and it's just Karma. She's like, "What up, bitch?" And then she just knocks it down. I would love to see a Karma versus Kevin Owens match. Is that wrong with me?
No,
Oh
that's
man,
perfectly
I
right.
never thought about it for this moment. All right, guys, we gotta wrap it up. I hope you all enjoyed hearing from Zaida because I always love having her on the show. Put yourself over. Is there anywhere people should go to follow you on like Twitter or Instagram?
yes, I'm _Zaida, ZAIDA _. Same for Twitter and Instagram. I am there. Candy Girl Zaida.
Good girl. And be sure if you are in local to the area, please treat yourself.
Treat
Go watch
yourself.
some of her matches.
Thank you.
Live wrestling.
Tamara, put yourself over.
You can find me on the Twitters and the Instagrams at MisfitsTamara.
And I'm Sarah the Rebel. I don't have a hefty sigh at the end of me telling you that because I love myself. Tamara, God, go find me.
I'm bigger in person though. I'm big in person.
Yes, she's not 5'0" as she said repeatedly.
Oh, right, yeah, I
Kind of gave that
gotta
away.
give that away, huh? Damn. I'm 190 pounds of muscle.
Of muscle.
Pure, unadulterated muscle.
I was gonna say pure adrenaline, and I was like, that's not the word. So thank you for knowing it was unadulterated.
Dude, very good. I wouldn't
Teamwork.
be able to
Pure
picture
adrenaline muscle. It's full of adrenalines. Anyway, guys, we've had a great time seeing you, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye.